Hugs and kisses on me too. Hey guys. Okay. It is Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Yes, indeed. After this video, I will be doing a video on uploading my face mask. I made a face mask video, and I also made another video on all my face wash. So be doing a video on that. But right now, since it's Blab Tuesday, we're gonna start talking about this book, Trent Shelton, The Greatest You. This is an awesome book, I was told. I have not read it yet. I want to read this book to y'all on Blab Tuesday. This book was $22 at Walmart. So I'm going to start with the illustration. Read the illustration today. It's going to be hopefully not a long video, but a short video. Talk about this book, and every Tuesday I'm going to try to read this book and see how far I can get. So let's get into the illustration. 10 years ago, I couldn't even remotely imagine that more than 9 million people would view my last video, share it more than 200,000 times, and make more than 50,000. Often a personal comment. If you told me that I have 6 million people following me on Facebook, 1 million on Instagram, and all over social media of 50 million, I would have said, we're tripping back then. You were tripping back then. If someone had suggested that I would be considered one of the most inspiring people on the web, one of the biggest influence on personality, on positivity in the generation, I would have said that this person had in mind a different Trent Shelton, because the Trent Shelton of 10 years ago was super involved. He had fear of public speaking and no experience with it. He also had tattoos all over his body, so he sure didn't look the part of an inspirational speaker. And the truth is, that couldn't have been me, because I wasn't ready for it to be me. Don't get me wrong, I knew that I wanted to help people, and I knew that reaching out to others, filling me with sense of purpose, but there was something I had to do first. I had to get my own life together. I had to do the work that I'm going to share with you in this book. 10 years ago, I was in a terrible place in both of my performance and personal lives. I'm going to get into these details in chapter 1. But for now, let me just say that I felt as though I was losing every battle. I wasn't helping myself, and I sure wasn't helping anyone else. Then slightly out of nowhere, I got an offer from a friend to speak in front of 5,000 teenagers at this church. Public speaking was not my theme, and I worried that I was going to be just the last in the series of a disaster, for this was going to be just disaster for me. But it was on that stage that I unlocked something in me, something I had deep inside all along, my true purpose. I almost blew it, because even though I prepped ridiculously hard when I stepped into the stage, I just went blank. So right then, when panic could have leveled me, I just started talking, and what would become my straight from the heart no filter speaker style. I had no notes to lean on, just my truth, my experience. Kids knowing what really, so I had to be real. And they really felt what I was saying and couldn't stop speaking me questions after. It was then I realized a very important lesson about life. You don't have to be perfect to help people. All you have to do is be real. The kids reactly told me how much they respect me, not just because they were inspired, because they finally felt and understood. Those kids made me realize the power of transparency. My being honest about my life gave them confidence to be honest about their own. I promised myself I would always speak the way in the future. It felt incredible to witness how my testimony was the first step of their influence. Avoiding their lives made me feel alive again. It was the first time I actually felt a purpose outside of football. And what really tripped me out was how natural it felt to inspire those kids. I knew this was the first step of rehabbing my own life. If I was going to preach it, I had to practice it. I was going to talk it, I had to believe it. Becoming the greatest me became my mission, and I decided myself to become nothing less. And responsibility I had to others. Most importantly, my youngest son, Trenton, gave me entirely a new level of motivation. Taking my life to the next level was no longer an option. It was a must. I knew Trenton was going to follow my lead, so I had to give him a model that would put his life on the best possible path. And I continued to work on myself. I started tweeting about it and hashtagging #RehabTime. Recording my transformation through 2-minute videos under the same name. I thought Rehab Time was just for me, but I quickly realized it was bigger than me, much bigger than me. As Rehab began connecting with people, I started interacting with my followers. The most unforgettable of these experiences was with Ashley, an encounter that showed me why God created me. It wasn't for football, as I thought up to point. It was rehab time. I met Ashley at an event, and she told me that not that long before, she'd been so ready to end her life that she had a gun to her hand, cocked and loaded. Her mind was made up. She was nothing was going to change. She was going on Facebook to say her goodbyes. Her plan was to press and post, then kill herself. But when she got on Facebook, a video popped up that I made at 2 o'clock. Every morning, something had woke me up out of my sleep to make it, which I was now realizing was God telling me to get this message to Ashley. The video was titled, "Don't End Your Life." And in it, I urge people to fight through, to give up tomorrow a chance. Storm quickly, but storm don't last forever. Ashley watched that video. And instead of killing herself, she wrote a positive Facebook message about her life and what she was dealing with. Her message helped others dealing with suicidal thoughts that night. While she was through, she was alone in her struggles. She wasn't at the moment. She understood there was a purpose greater than her pain. And the most painful moment of her life became her most purposeful one. At the other end, 2 teenagers came up, hugged me, and started crying. They told me that I had helped save their mother's life. Even though I didn't want to take the credit, they insisted that if it hadn't been for my video, they would be motherless. She was fighting drug addiction. An overdose seemed to be in her near future. But she watched one of my videos, which sparked a change enough her to face her reality. She realized that it was time to go to war and overcome her addiction, not just for herself, but also for her children. The video speaks engagements were definitely helping people, but determination out there was bigger than even the millions and millions of people were covered their lives were worthless, that they were stuck in a hole they could never climb out of, and their stories were over. These people needed to discover what they discovered for myself, that even though your story may have some bad chapters in it, it can still end well. But let's be real. It's almost impossible to inquire your struggles alone. Everyone needs help. But it's the kind of help you get making a big difference. You don't need someone at a mountaintop telling you how to get up there. You need someone next to you climbing that mountain with you. Someone to give you the tools to overcome your pain. Someone speaking to your heart, encouraging you to never stop climbing. That's where the book comes in. When your life is a serious mess, you don't need someone to offer you a bunch of empty advice. You need someone who is going to be by your side as you work your way out of it. You need someone to say, I understand where you are at. I'm here for you. And we will encounter this together. My video gets a tons of views, which is great. But what I love the most is how much interaction they create. When more than 100,000 people feel so connected to what I'm saying on a video that they respond in deeply personal ways. I know they understand that I'm on their side, that we're fighting this battle as treatment. They understand that I'm not giving up on them, and they don't need to give up on themselves. I'm not trying to be arrangeable. I'm trying to be concerned and supportive. A friend I can call my followers. A response to their message. I even send some of them personal encouragement videos. This is all very real for me because I understand the acquaintance and depression. So this book is a promise you want to make your life to a better place. I'll be there with you, inspiring you to become the greatest you. You are ready to do the work necessary to become the biggest version of yourself. If so, I offer you the benefit of my experience and experiences of others who have been courageous and shared stories with me. I'll be there coaching you and giving you the tools you need to get out of a bad situation and go on to something much better. They're hardworking coming in this book. You're going to have to face something that you prefer not to face. You're going to have to get rid of some things in your life that are going to be very hard to get rid of. But I'll stick with you every step of the way, sharing with you how I dealt with the same situation. Through the book, I'll be sharing parts of my personal journey and showing the lessons of experience have taught me. I will also share lots and lots of stories from followers all over the globe. People who have gone through and might still be going through hard times, to feel that their stories might be offered others sometimes to deafen with positive and sense of comfort. I've changed their names here for their own protection, but I promise you these stories are as real as they are raw. Enough introduction. We have work to do. Are you ready to become the greatest you? Then it's rehab time. Let's go. I'm going to be reading this book starting with chapter 1. And chapter 1 is, you will never win your war by running from the battles. I'm going to, on Tuesdays for Blab Tuesdays, I'm going to be reading this book. Every chapter, read until my eyes, balls will not let me see no more, and read. If you are friends with me on Facebook, you notice that I always post videos from Trent. I was going through a problem as well, and I was talking to Trent about it. He helped me through my problems, as well as my husband did too. Y'all all remember how one day I talked about this guy that had a major crush on me, and he wanted me basically, he says he didn't, but I think he wanted me to leave my husband to go be with him. Yeah, he's probably, well, okay. A lot of guys say, and girls say it too, so don't say you don't. You're a billionaire, millionaire, whatever, you got all this money and you can afford to buy everything for this person. Well, I'm not into that. I'm not into the money. I could care less about the money, because if it was all about the money, I'd be asking my husband for money every day to go buy makeup and books and coupons and everything, but I don't. It's not about the money. And now we don't speak, we don't talk, nothing. We're doing nothing together. He used to buy me lunch. He has bought me things. He's done things for me. And yes, I'm not going to lie, I appreciate it. But now, I don't need it in my life. Thanks to Trent, he got this guy out of my life. I do talk about him once in a while, but, and I do say some negative things about him every once in a while, and some positive things. I wish I had him in my life, Trent, and this book when I was married to my first husband. But Trent also made me realize I don't have to be mean to my ex-husband. I mean, yeah, I call him dildo head. So does my best friend, because he is a dildo head. But he's a sweet guy now. He's not the same as he was when I was married to him, but he's different from what my son says. Alright guys, I'm going to end this video because it's almost at 20. So, let's stop this video. Let's get into this book starting next Tuesday. I'm going to start reading chapter 1. And hopefully it will inspire you. If you really want to start reading along with me, you can go get this book. You can buy this book off of Amazon. I think it's like, well, this book I paid $22 for this book, but if you bought it from him, it would have been $15. So I paid a little bit more. Alright guys, let's end this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for chapter 1 next Tuesday. Bye guys.